Many people believe that doing nothing means they are avoiding a decision. They tell themselves they are waiting for clarity, waiting for the right moment, waiting for something to change. But doing nothing is still a decision, and often it is the one that costs the most. Doing nothing feels safe because it doesn't create conflict. It doesn't force an exchange. It doesn't ask you to confront uncomfortable truths. It allows life to stay familiar, predictable, comfortable, but while you are waiting, time is still moving forward. Circumstances are still changing, and opportunities are quietly passing by. Inaction does not freeze life. It allows life to choose for you. When you don't make a choice, the default choice takes over. Your routines decide. Your fears decide. Your environment decides. And over time, what began as a temporary pause becomes a permanent pattern. Many people stay in situations, not because they want to, but because leaving would require a decision they've been avoiding. They stay in relationships that no longer grow them. They stay in jobs that quietly drain them. They stay in habits that feel familiar, even when those habits no longer serve who they're becoming. Not because they lack strength, but because doing nothing feels easier than choosing change. Time has a way of slowly locking in whatever we allow to continue. When you don't choose, time chooses instead. Relationships shift without conversation. Energy fades without warning. Momentum disappears without noise. What once felt like flexibility turns into limitation. What once felt temporary becomes permanent. And the longer you stay still, the harder movement begins to feel. Not because you are incapable of moving, but because stillness has become familiar. Doing nothing trains the mind to accept less than it knows it wants. It teaches you to tolerate discomfort quietly instead of addressing it directly. Most people believe regret comes from making the wrong decision. But regret rarely comes from trying and failing. It comes from wondering what might have happened if you had acted sooner. It comes from replaying moments where you knew what needed to change, but hoped time would somehow make the choice easier. Clarity almost never arrives before the decision. Clarity arrives because of the decision. Confidence is not a prerequisite for movement. Confidence is built by moving. Waiting for certainty often means waiting forever. There is a quiet cost to waiting too long. It shows up as restlessness, as low-level dissatisfaction, as the feeling that life is happening around you instead of through you. This kind of regret doesn't shout, it whispers. It shows up late at night when the noise fades, when distractions are gone, when you're left alone with your thoughts. And often, the thought that returns again and again is the one you've been avoiding. If a decision keeps resurfacing in your mind, if it keeps tapping you quietly, that's usually not confusion. That's clarity asking for courage. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You only need to stop letting time decide for you. One honest step changes more than months of waiting ever will. A conversation you've been delaying, a boundary you've been avoiding, a choice you've been postponing because it feels uncomfortable. Movement doesn't require certainty. It requires honesty, and honesty often feels uncomfortable right before it feels freeing. Doing nothing may feel safe in the moment, but safety without direction slowly becomes loss. Loss of time, loss of energy, loss of alignment with who you know you're meant to be. You don't need to rush, but you do need to move, because even silence makes a choice, and so does waiting.